Okay. Yay. So everyone, welcome to session two of the social media management for beginners. I did a first one last week as an in-person at ESI. That was kind of like the launch. But since a lot of people couldn't make it because A, they don't live in the country, they don't live in the province, or they just couldn't make it because of meetings, etc. I decided let's do an online webinar, but with like my celebrity guest star, Natalie. Can we go to the next slide?
Yeah, for everybody who's
She's
new.
controlling the slide. Okay, so yeah, just a little intro. So I'm Princess, she's Natalie, and we actually met when she came to South Africa for like a conference here we had with our company EXP. And when we literally started making content together, we were literally like the same person, both blondes. Make sure to follow us both on Instagram. There's like those QR like scan codes. You guys can quickly just scan it and go follow us if you'd like. Natalie posts amazing content. And also, if you want to take a cute aesthetic photos of like the seminar while you're watching, be sure to, post it on Instagram and tag us also. That would be really great. Thanks. Next slide.
We're going to be practicing the social media today. So something I wanted to add is if you are from wherever you're from, put it in the chat, please, so we can get to know you, your name, where you're from, and what brings you here, so we can get to. We cannot get everybody introduced in the live conference, but we can get to read you in the chat.
Yeah, so this was basically Natalie and I. It was just a little about us, like how we met and how we started doing social media together, two iconic queens just loving content and doing real estate, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the agenda. So we just did a quick about us. We're going to be talking a little bit about Google AI mode searches. So basically how to become the top agent because nowadays buyers are going to ChatGPT and AI asking them who is the area expert and where to sell. Oop, you
Keep,
skipped my
keep going, keep
part.
going, keep going.
Okay.
Like, I'm not loading.
Basically, who is the area specialist? We're gonna give you like seven social media tips as well, on how to post, what to post, etc., etc. Then we got the Rue versus Blue Ocean, the opportunity. Natalie's gonna deep dive into that, and we've got the traditional versus the new, organic versus paid ads, the content creation tools, equipment lists, so things that you need for content creation, and just content distribution, how to and where to post things. Yeah.
Mm.
Next clip. So a little bit about me. I am Princess. Yes, that's my actual name. I'm a South African real estate agent based in Cape Town. I do sell mostly on the Western Seaboard, Blouberg area, but now and then I dabble within the Atlantic Seaboard City Center on that market. So I decided to create a brand called Property Princess within my company EXP, and it's basically a persona I've made as like real estate royalty. Yeah, so when you're starting your brand, I give you advice, try find something about you. Because one thing on social media, you have to be organic and authentically yourself. So no matter what you love, whether you're a single mom, or you love fashion, or you love, I don't know, anything, just try and create and be more of yourself and put that out there on social media. There will be people out there who will relate to you. They always say be yourself to attract your tribe. So yeah, I highly recommend that. I like to say I'm the crown's choice for property sales, little play on words there with the royal imagery and everything. Next slide. So yeah, so this session is called Be Known or Be Invisible because according to ChatGPT, that's my source, 5 years ago, people found agents through boards and referrals, but today they open their phones and type in Google or ChatGPT, who is the best real estate agent in Parklands. That's the area I work in, for instance. And the agent with the strongest online presence will win. Your social media at the end of the day is your CV because AI now, no matter how good of an agent you are, but if you don't post about it, you don't tell people about your sales, you don't tell people where you work and how good you are at real estate, no one will actually know. At the end of the day, even if you sold like 100 homes, the fact that I have a stronger online presence than you, most likely I'll be found better and get more business. If you have a social media account and it's private, after the seminar, could you do me a favor and just make it unprivate? Because it just doesn't do you any favors. As a real estate agent, your main goal is to be known, is to be easily found. and is for everyone to be. You're basically an open book without wanting to be. Unfortunately, you have to be because it creates that trust and it creates almost, what's the word for it? It almost like bridges the gap between you and a client. And the reason I always say your social media is your CV because when I go onto your Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, I need to see exactly what you do for a living. Unfortunately, posting too many selfies or posting your cat too many times or, I don't know, posting ice cream. I love that you're posting online, but you can't say social media doesn't bring you leads if that's all you post. If you never post anything real estate related, if you never post absolutely none of your listings, people won't know what you do. People will not know what to do, and I really need you guys to start posting more real estate. Even if you don't list, I'm sure your agency branch has people who have listings for you to maybe share a couple photos of, or to just do a quick marketing video of other people's listings. That's what I did when I first started in the industry with absolutely zero listings. In order to place myself in the real estate sphere, I would almost have to post content that has to do with real estate so I can be associated with it. And this is why it also leads me to my third thing. I'm going to challenge you guys to actually Google yourselves. What pops up? When you Google yourself, what pops up? Ask AI, who is your name? For instance, who is Natalie? Or who, what her surname obviously, or like, who is Princess Ncuthe? What pops up when you Google yourself? Because I'll show you exactly what pops up when mine is. Next, you can go to the next slide. For instance, for me, Princess is a prominent real estate agent based in Cape Town, South Africa, often by her professional handle known as the Property Princess. She is a candidate property practitioner with eXp South Africa, and where she focuses on residential sales in areas like Milnerton, Century City, and Sandown. Now, does the internet know this? Can I tell you how they know this? They know this because I told it that. How did I tell it that? By posting. The internet doesn't just know things, okay? You control your narrative. Whatever you post online, you immediately control your narrative. It's almost like you're telling the internet what it should know about you. So every time you post, I don't want you to think about, oh, it's not gonna get enough views. Oh, it's no one liked it. Oh, no one commented. Oh no, I'm gonna just quickly delete it. No. Your social media is your CV. Who cares if it only got 2 views? Why do you even care? No one saw it. So why do you care if no one saw it? Because no one saw it. Post, but you're posting with the pure mindset that I'm telling the internet who I am. I'm making it easier to be found, making it easier that people know what I do. Who am I? That's what you're posting for. You're not posting for likes. We're not, respectfully, we're not influencers here. We don't get paid we don't get paid per view. We don't get paid for content creation. I mean, maybe if you take it up professionally, you can get paid, but you're a real estate agent. So what you need to do is make a way to be found, make a way to be known. So yeah, post, look for me. It tells me there, professional profile. It knows everything about me, the agency I work for, my role, my experience. It says I began my career early. It knows literally everything about me, my services, buying, selling, renting, international, across 24 countries. How does it know that? Because I made a post on Facebook, as you can see there, reference Facebook. I made a post plus 4 other websites that I work internationally. If you look over there, also it tells you I do some community service. How does it know that? Because I post, I hashtag, I tell it, I do this. It knows my phone number. That is my actual phone number. How does it know that? Because I posted that. I put that out there. I said, that's my phone number. That is my email address. And even says social medias. You can find her on Instagram at Property Princess and Facebook. How does it know that? I'm active. I post. I don't care whether someone sees it. I don't care if anyone likes it. I don't care if you interact with it. I'm just posting so that the internet keeps me relevant. That's what it happens. Now, so you just press the arrow again for the second part. Quick. Yeah. So there you'll see my agent profile. I'm probably 24 with my listings. You'll see my LinkedIn. You'll see my Facebook, and it'll basically just give you a rundown of all my active social medias. So I'm an open book. I will not scam you as a real estate agent because, well, I have such a hot online presence. Natalie, next slide, please. Yeah. So the first step I would say is choose the right social media platforms. For real estate, we have to look at our target audience. Where are the people with money? So I always say Facebook. Go on Facebook because that market is huge, especially in South Africa. I'm not sure about overseas because we do got a couple of Americans over here. But Facebook is really big. I really encourage you to get on Facebook. There's Facebook Market. There's quite a lot of active buyers in the that age range. I don't know exactly what the age range is because I feel like if I say an age, they're gonna come for me. You guys are gonna so yeah. But the people with money on Facebook, if you want to get a lot of visibility and get your name out there quicker, I do say TikTok. I built my business on TikTok. I would do TikTok videos of listings, and people would actually start inquiring and asking, hi, can I come for viewing? And that's how I became a buyer's agent when I didn't have any listings. Instagram is another one. Instagram is a CV. You need to lock in with that app. You need to make sure it's aesthetic. You have to make sure you've got good content out there because people generally do judge you based on your Instagram. I know it's crazy. It's basically like it gives just a summary of who you are, what you're about, and can I do business with you? And then last but not least, I would say LinkedIn is a good one. You can definitely collaborate with a lot of and be friends with developers. You can be friends with people with different, like other real estate agents you can collaborate with. Goodness me, the list is endless. LinkedIn is not only just for a CV or looking to be hired. I would say it's a good place to get some connections as well. Next slide, please. Yeah, so these are my social media, for instance. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Now, Pinterest, I just put it there because I get a lot of aesthetic pictures there or like stuff to do slides with. I don't really see it as a lead gen app. It's more just like assistance if you need any photos for posters you want to make or something. Yeah. Next slide for me, please. Yeah, and my next step would be to set clear goals. Like social media allows you to do so many things for your business, which can be overwhelming, I know, but it is best to determine what your goal is first. So like what kind of content do you want to create and how consistent can you be? Now, Natalie posts like 3 times a day, every day. Like she's just who everyone wants to be. I even want to be her. Me personally, once a day, maybe for like every day, 5 times a week if I'm that bad. But yeah, the goal is to at least post once a day. But some people can't do that. A lot of you, I'm gonna say this is a beginner class. Maybe try posting 3 times a week. That's too much for you. Maybe even twice a week, once a week. But I'm gonna show you ways to make content that it doesn't even seem like it's a lot. Because if you make a lot of content in one day, all you have to do is just schedule your posts and you don't really have to even think about it that much. You can create content with like going to your viewings, posting your listings that you already have in the market, posting your fellow colleagues' listings, because usually if you're a team, you're all allowed to sell the same listings, I hope. Posting, what else can you post? You can make funny videos. TikTok has so many fun stuff to do. Oh, I think I got a question. I think I'll answer questions at the end, definitely. So you can post a whole lot of stuff, in my opinion, things that you do on a daily basis. People love to see that. People love to, maybe because I'm nosy, but when someone posts a vlog of what I do in a day, I'm genuinely interested because what are you doing with your day? I know what I'm doing, but I'd like to compare and see what's the difference. Now, next slide, please. So for instance, here's my Instagram. So it clearly says my name at the top, Princess Ncuthe. My handle is the same throughout all my social medias, Property Princess. I had to put 2 S's because someone else unfortunately took the name Property Princess. We don't know who they are, but I definitely overtook them, whoever they are. So yeah, it just says my bio. I'm an estate agent. Where I work, Cape Town, my company, and what I do a lot of real estate social media, and I do a lot of property sales, and I always put my compliant PPRA registered just so people know I'm not just like a wannabe. And yeah, I do a little bit of young agents network. It's just a group of agents that just work together basically just to support each other. And if you see there, my professional dashboard says 47,000 or 47.3 thousand views in the last 30 days. I could have never in my life met that many people in the last 30 days. But that's what social media gives you. It's a free marketing tool to get to know as many people as possible. Like how lucky are we to pay ads these days or to get a billboard that stays in one place in one, like, you know how much that costs. But for me or for you too, a tool that you can tap into to get as many people to know about you and what you do for free. And I got to reach I don't even have that many followers. Social media is not even about followers anymore. It's literally just about the algorithm and you putting yourself out there. So they really people have this back-minded thing that I have to post for attention and likes, but it's not about that at all. It's not. It's just about putting yourself out there and creating a CV. Because for my Instagram, you see what I'm about. You can see the community service I do, the community service, what I do for work, my events. I post a lot of those. I do a couple funny skits. Post for holidays like Valentine's Day. I think if you can see there, I said, "Are you pre-approved?" Because you're the one I'm looking for. Like I like to play. You can be creative with your posts. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Next slide, please. And then a weekly calendar that I like to look at. I mean, if you post every day, you can follow this. If you don't post any day, you can take bits and pieces of this and post when you feel like it. But I would say on a Monday, it's always good to give like educational content. I don't know if you can see that. I really hope you can. But Monday says educational content. So just post about what the market knowledge is. What are the interest rates? Today we found out that they stayed 10.25 here in South Africa, no change. So your buyers and sellers might be keen to know that. The purpose is to really put yourself out there as the area expert, I would say. On a Tuesday, I would post content, for instance, like property tours and your just listed and your property of the week or like on the market, things you loved about a house. Because at the end of the day, what brings in the clients and the deals is your property content. You need to post listings, I would say, because people, how else would you get the leads? It's all good to put on the portals, but post the listings if you want to get leads, buyers, and sellers. And then also just actually reminds people that you sell homes. That's basically the purpose. On a Wednesday, post some behind the scenes, like show your daily life. You can do like cute little vlogs. I like to do. You can do a day life with an agent, going to evaluation. I like sometimes I took a video one time, I bought them cookies, or I have like my evaluation booklet all done and I'm about to hand it in. That's always fun. Or you can also post like your trainings, anything you do in your day-to-day life. You could also do this every day if you think about it, if you really want to maximize your posting. But if you just want to do it on one day, you can also do that. This basically just builds a connection and also shows personality. And then on a Thursday, I would post like some advice, more education, provide value into your viewers' lives. I would say advice for your buyers, first-time home buyers, or like first-time sellers, how to choose the right agent because it's you. So just say everything about you. What banks to look out for before if you want to get like bond approved, like things like that. Like position yourself as an advisor because people like that. And then on a Friday, you can do your social proof, like, oh, look what I've sold so far, offer accepted, client testimonials. You can ask your clients to give you reviews, etc. And also just build some credibility and trust. And then also it says on a Saturday and a Sunday. Now a lot of people don't want to work. It's okay. There you can push your dog. You know what I mean? Like, that cat you always want to post them. You're on a lunch, post it. That's like a you moment. It's a weekend. But you can post your gym routine, your coffee runs, make people basically relate to you. This is your personality time to shine. You could do this every day, but if you want to dedicate a day, I would dedicate a weekend. And examples, yeah, I gave you some coffee shops. Maybe if you want to show areas like Parklands, for instance, my area, Parklands lifestyle, schools nearby, and also position yourself as the area specialist, basically, like things about that particular area. Next slide. Yeah, so my three content pillars I would say you can focus on if you want to post 3 times a week. Post the property, so the listing on the homes, post educational content, advice and tips, and post some of your personality, lifestyle, behind the scenes, because the best agents have all three. Some agents just post listings, but then it comes off a bit cold and boring because all I see is houses. Some agents just post education, and I'm thinking, are you running an academy? Like, what are you like? Can I get a little bit more? Or some just post personality, and then I even forget you sell houses. So just try and range between the three, one each week. It's good, honestly. Next slide. And yeah, be consistent, like I said. So most people fail because they just randomly post. So if you could manage to post 2 to 5 times a week, that's great. But from one video, you can literally just take that video, share it, and link it to your Facebook. Put it on YouTube Shorts, put it on LinkedIn, and then now you've got yourself content for all platforms. So a lot of people get overwhelmed when I tell them to post on all these 5 million platforms and like, what am I going to post? Post the same stuff all over. Just all over. I mean, LinkedIn's a little more, but I see people post random things all the time. So do your thing. And I always get a question: when's the best time to post? I would say every single time of the day because people are on their phones 24/7. I don't know a person's not on their phone at least at every single time. Lunchtime, breakfast, dinner, breaks, in line for something. I don't know. And also, if it's 5 p.m. here, for instance, it's 6 p.m. here, what time is it there by Natalie in America? Do you know what I mean? What is this time frame thing? There's no such thing as a time. I think that's just in your head. But yeah, next slide, sorry. I'm thinking about posting. Yeah, another thing I'd like to give is engage with your audience. Social media is a big word. Social communication. It's just on your phone. So if someone posts, like it and comment. That shows the app you're active. So next time you post, they will be like, okay, she's not a bot. Let me push her content. A lot of people, it's like imagine saying hi to someone and then the person just looks at you blank in the face like, you might just walk away and never speak to that person again. And that's what social media is going to do to you. If you don't interact with other people's posts, it's going to view you like this account is useless. Why would we push their content? Rather push someone else who's actually interacting, like Natalie. She's interacting with everyone's posts. Let's work on getting her content out there. So yeah, always engage with other people's posts. If someone comments on your post, interact back because they just said hi to you, say hi back. It's a conversation. It's supposed to be social. And I think a lot of people don't really get that. So yeah, I just want to give you guys that tip. Be more social. It doesn't take that long. Don't get lazy, even if it's just a heart emoji. Next slide. And then use your hashtags and captions wisely. We spoke about AI in the beginning. AI now is starting to pick up and read captions and they use that and put it, like for instance, I posted a listing on my Instagram saying I have a rental in Century City. AI read that and now puts that in my bio and says she does rentals in Century City. So whenever you post a listing, you post anything, be very specific with your captions and your hashtags. Hashtag real estate agent South Africa. Hashtag for sale in Bloberg or Clifton or wherever you sell. Do you know, like be very specific. Also, when people search for you or they search for a particular real estate in Cape Town, you would pop up. Why? Because you've blasted that hashtag all over your page. So it automatically picks that up as you. Next slide. And then, yeah, so the industry is then split into the two groups. You get the people that use social media and dominate all the attention and get obviously recognized and seen easily. An agent who just ignore it and decide, I'm not going to post because I've been in the industry for 45 years and I've sold 10 million houses. But do you plan on selling houses in the future? I'm guessing you are. So definitely, if you ignore it, you'll become invisible, no matter how good you did 4 decades ago. We're now in a new era that we're transitioning in, and we're no longer posting things on newspapers to get known because that generation, unfortunately, is dying out. The new generation is all on their phones, and you need to be on their phones instead of cold calling people. Cold calling people is not working anymore because people just put down the phone, but they're all scrolling every day on their feeds looking for some entertainment, and just your face constantly popping up is just a constant reminder of, oh, Princess does real estate. Oh, Princess is doing this today. Oh, maybe I should call Princess. I need evaluation. Do you know what I mean? That's the goal. That's where everyone wants to be, really. Next slide, Natalie. And then in conclusion, in real estate, there are two choices: to be known or to be invisible. Social media gives every agent the chance to become the most recognized name in their market. Thank you. Next slide. That's it. Thank you. Yeah.
Perfect. Great job, Princess. I love it. So let me want to be opening for questions. Want to be opening for questions later. That way we can get going. We have 1 hour, and anybody who wants to stay, we can stay for sure. But yeah, let me get started with the part two. I want to be sharing the strategies and some of the things that we'll be covering in the next few months because Princess asked me to do these workshops hopefully weekly. And we saw a big opportunity in South Africa because nobody's doing this too much. I mean, there are a few people doing it, but the ocean is like so like open right now for you guys. So if you're first in market and you use all these tools, you'll be able to be known really quickly. So let's get started with part two. Be known or be invisible. I also want to share that these slides were made with AI. So if you're curious to learn how, we'll be covering those topics as well in coming up. we will have some QR codes as well. So if you're on your phone, maybe you cannot scan them, but please do share where you're from and also your social media links in the chat so we can follow you back. And also, I just share mine as well in the chat, so you can click there. And we encourage everybody to take pictures, screenshots, record it, little pieces, and put it in social media. You can tag us, and we will be able to reshare. And as Princess said, we have some visibility. We've been doing this for a while. It's been growing. So we would love to share the content of other agents out there so they can get more exposure. We can share the same audience and they can start following you from our posts together. So keep that in mind. Yeah, this is super important. You have to Google yourself and always check what the algorithm is saying about you, because if you don't, manage your brand out there, they're gonna manage it for you. They're gonna just put whatever you have. Maybe you had a drunk picture one time in college. You don't want that to show up in social media, right? Maybe you want to show up some branding, who you are, what you do, and always be consistent everywhere you say it. So every time you talk about your brand, which is you, always mention Natalie Salas is this, is that. You'll be feeding that into the algorithm. Um, as Princess mentioned, I love the pictures that we share. I have a little stories about all of them. We met literally through our network, through EXP, and after that we started working together, and we start discovering, the similarities. But we're doing the same thing in many countries. So when we are doing social media, we get to know each other. We can just be friends kind of forever. And when you create content, that's the best way to get yourself out there. And these are the events that we were doing together, the tours we're doing together. So literally some people are like, you put all your life in social media. And that is true. And at the same time, not. There's a good balance between personal life and professional life. Everything I do, 90% of my life is professional. That's what I'm always working. That's what I'm always recording it, always taking pictures. So don't feel shy to do that. Some family members, some friends of yours might tell you, oh, it's too much, but that's not your audience. If they're not buying from you houses, then maybe that's not your audience. The idea is that you target to your audience about your lifestyle, how you work, where you are. Everywhere I am traveling, I'm literally record everything, picture, photos. Everybody knows where I am at all times. I usually post a little delay so you don't get any stalkers too, but but at the same time, you choose what you post. You don't have to post your kids, you don't have to post your family unless you want to. So don't worry about being too much. You just regulate that. Many people don't know, they think they know everything about me because I post everything in social media, but I have my private life too. So keep private what is private and keep public what is public. But never have an Instagram if it's going to be private if you're in business, because you'll be that secret agent out there. A little bit about me, and I'll share my bio. Feel free to share yours as well in the chat, where you're from and where you're connecting from as well. I'm based in Chicago right now. I was born in Peru, but I love to travel the world. So far, I've almost reached 40 countries that I've been investigating, doing market research about real estate specific. And this is literally what we were doing in Cape Town the last time I was there. We were doing market research, property tours, and understand more about the market, because the more I understand South Africa, the more I can refer leads back to Princess. I can refer leads back to anybody who's in other areas of like Johannesburg or Durban, because the more I understand the market, the more I can talk about it somewhere else. So we create education through YouTube, and that's our main channel. YouTube and Instagram are my favorite. I don't do much TikTok, but we duplicate all our content to TikTok, and I will show you how. Not in this workshop because we only have 1 hour, but we're going to have a series of workshops that you can learn different tools for different platforms, and you can choose whatever is easy for you or whatever is comfortable, because you don't have to be everywhere all the time. It's hard to keep up with all your profiles, but you can choose one or two and stick to it nonstop. Like Princess said, is consistency overall. My background is in technology, so I see everything through the eyes of technology, automations, and also how we can do things faster, more efficient, quicker. Like, how can I just post? We do have about 7 posts going out 3 times per day in all channels. So there's a way to automate that, and there's a way to not do that manually. So I wouldn't do that manually because I'm just one person. We have a team right now that is our content creators and editors. But before that, if I'm on my own and I don't have any help, it's very important that I am efficient with my time, because I also need to sell, I also need to prospect, I also need to do my regular everyday transaction tasks. So I cannot have the luxury to be all day in social media posting and spending time there. So we do very efficient content creation and distribution, and I will show you also what we have coming up in the next few weeks, so you can also do the same. And some of the tools are free. Some of the tools you pay per year, but it's very little. And this is a bit more about what we do and how we do it. You'll see a few QR codes throughout the presentation, but I would like you to focus on the numbers because we've been doing this for a bit. We've been testing, we've been doing try and error. Princess has too. So don't worry too much about your followers because now Instagram, TikTok, they're pushing content based on interest and based on what you tell the content that it is about. So don't focus so much on the followers. We have sometimes it's 10x your followers from the views that you have. Consistently, I've been getting about from 70,000 to 110,000 interactions and views per month. So every 30 days, we get our stats. And the interest part is that Instagram, if you are a creator account, we can show you how to do that as well. Don't have a personal account, have a creator account, not necessarily a professional account, because then you can use the music that is copyrighted, and we can also cover all the details. So make sure that you keep that in mind. Don't worry too much about the followers, worry about the interaction. So we have this month, I do the last screenshot, 109,000 interactions. And you can see from our dashboard here that it's not about interactions, it's also about the views and also the followers. So you can get some new followers by just tagging them, inviting them to be a guest in your wall, like here. I have Vane as my guest. I had tagged Princess many, many times about the interviews we did. So then she can also have it in her wall. So we have, double push. My followers follow her followers follow me, and then we have that flow. So we don't have to create content. I don't have to create content all day, every day. Maybe you and another partner, you and your team leader, or you and somebody in your team can work. You post on Monday, I post on Wednesday, and then you tag each other, and then it's in both walls at the same time without the effort of having, to post every single day, because it can get exhausting too. So do check your stats if you have a creator account. If you want to share this also in the chat, that would be good to know, so we can see where we start. And with our team, what we do is we take a snapshot of when we start and how we're doing. So each week we check the stats and the analytics, so if you're going up, you're going down, what's going well, what's working. And Instagram will tell you what's working, like what reels are moving, what's trending. And based on that, you can create more of that or less of the other one that doesn't click too much. As you've seen, some realtors, sometimes they have all about open houses, all about sales, all about these. And then eventually, if the clients stop buying, they don't want to see that content anymore. And then they stop following you because they're like, okay, I already bought my house. I don't need more information about this. So you need to combine it and, sparkle here and there, the lifestyle, the process, education. Sometimes we think that everybody knows what we know, but not everybody knows what you know. So I learned so much in Cape Town about the market itself. Although I have a general understanding of what is a transaction like, it's different that I go deep and be like, okay, so what is this specific, legal part, or what is that process that you're doing? And then I can kind of compare it to my market here and understand, step by step on the buying process. Those things we put it online. And the interviews I do, I have a podcast. We also put it online. So all the education we create in YouTube, it gets syndicated every single day to all the followers in every single platform, so they can learn and get a glimpse in Reels, and they come to the longer video to learn more about the half an hour interview, let's say I have with Princess, about the different areas and different neighborhoods in Cape Town. So it's super important that you keep an eye on that to make sure that your stats are working, they're moving. And if that's your goal, you get to be known and not be invisible. More about the people want information quickly. They don't have patience much to click around. If you give them more than 1 or 2 clicks, they already got lost. So you lost them. You know that when you're in Instagram and you're like, I was gonna look for somebody, and then you start looking at a reel that showed up in your phone, and you're like, what was I gonna do? And you forget. And many, many times it happens to me. I'm like in Instagram trying to search for something, and I'm like, I get entertained with a dog video, and I'm like, okay, I'm lost now. What was I gonna do? So make sure that people have your attention. So 1 click away, we'll share with you also what you need to have in your profile, your bio, the links that you need to have. You cannot complicate people too much to get a hold of you. Many agents that I know They don't have their phone number or any way to get contacted in social media. So you are like, okay, here's all my information, but good luck trying to find me. Come and chase me. People don't have time to chase you. So if they don't have your information right away, they're going to go to the next agent and the next agent after that that has the information ready. And I have many examples when I'm looking to send a referral to a specific city or a country. I'm looking for the agent first. If you don't remember the name, at least you remember the location. So if I type Cape Town realtor, hopefully that keyword is in your bio, because then if I don't remember your name, but I know you're in Johannesburg, then you have a way to do, to call back the person, and then you know how to find them. At least you can find by location. So make sure that you have that in mind on when you have your profile, because if they're gonna find you within a couple clicks, they will go to the next person. 60% of the search now, Google is showing it as AI. So AI will be the first paragraph that comes through when you search for something. So make sure that you have that in mind. So more about that later, but talking about the red ocean versus the blue ocean, I think is very important that you understand where you're competing and who you're competing with. Understanding your market, understanding who you are as a person and what you want to stand for. You don't have to be that influencer person that dances on the screen. Is if you don't want to, you don't, that's not my thing either. I don't like dancing on the screen, but I do like to provide information and education. So the red ocean, I will call it, where everybody's doing the same thing, and everybody's competing for that same attention, like those agents that only post about properties. And if they only post about properties, they 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 bore people. I'm like, I saw enough of these properties, but maybe if they put more lifestyle, maybe they follow you. But if it's an investor, maybe that's what they want to see. They only want to see the numbers, they only want to see the return, and that's it. And if you're showing them that, then be like, okay, that's good. So forget about the hunting mode. You don't want to chase people. Although at the beginning will be like that until you build your audience. And then don't rent the attention, because ideally you own the attention. So make sure that social media is just an outlet for people to get into your mailing list, so you have their information too. Because if they shut you down, or if you say something politically incorrect, they will be probably shutting down your account or something like that. Because now the world is getting crazy, everybody's getting censored. So we have to be very careful what we say, because we cannot say anything too controversial. Because then if they shut your account, then that's your channel to your audience. So make sure you also collect the emails, and that's part of the automation we're gonna show you over the next few weeks, so you don't lose on that database. You do want to keep your database. You want to own your database, at least in a spreadsheet in Google or in a CRM. So yeah, don't be in the sea of sameness. So don't be like everybody else. Stand out. Find what's your niche. What's your preferred. What's your personality. What you're comfortable with. You don't have to, be jumping around dancing if that's not your thing, because it's gonna look awkward, and people will see that and they'll be like, I don't, I don't know why I'm watching this video. So in the blue ocean, I call it like the area where it's more space. There is less competition. There is less busyness. You can stand out quicker because it's like there are no sharks trying to eat each other's food. So attracting model, that's what we practice almost every day. Like literally, that's part of our business. We've been doing, at least me myself, I've been doing social media for probably 10 years. And the last 5 have been very consistent. And the last 2, I will say, have been like nonstop, because we found more tools with AI that makes it's not like we have to edit one video at a time. We can just blast a lot of videos. You just go through your net and go fish for clients. Before it used to be like, just sit there with your little stick and wait for a fish to come, and you can only fish one at a time. Now with social media, is just throw the wide net and you see what comes back to you. So yeah, attraction mode is super important. Owning the attention, as I mentioned, have your database. Make sure they are in your database, not in Instagram database, not in TikTok's database, because they can follow you. If they shut down your account, you're out. Then you have to build everything from scratch. And then the authority will come with the amount of content that you put and the value of the content that is for the audience that you're sharing this with. So make sure that this is something that you keep in mind, because sometimes some influencers, some content creators create for the sake of creating, but they don't provide any value. So yeah, they can be like entertaining, education, or something that they don't know about, fun facts. So we'll talk more about topics that we can cover here, and that's part of very similar to the calendar that Princess shared, and it's also in the chat. So That way you can know what to post by when, when you have a structure, you have an organization, and then you know what's the plan for the week. A lot of the content that I create is batch content creation. So I don't create content every day, but I create 1 or 2 days. I solely don't stop, and then I duplicate it for the rest of the next 2 weeks. So there's ways to do that. And the difference between the being the invisible agent, you rely on paid ads, maybe cold outreach or transactional relationships that is in and out, and you don't have that friendship. Maybe they don't recommend you because you're, oh yeah, thank you for your money, bye. And then of course people will be like, okay, I feel used or something. Like you want to have that interaction, friendship, and be honest and be genuine, because otherwise people will be like, oh yeah, she's just smiling because she needs to smile. I know she's a real estate agent and she's looking for more business, but she just finished mine and she didn't even say happy birthday. So things like that can be automated. Um, and in the other side, let's say one of them is chasing and the other one is attracting. So one thing with attracting comes that you build trust. They rely on your content being constant and consistent because they like to see you. And then the education piece is super important. Don't think that people know what you know. Just just keep creating, because some people are like in the baby steps of buying a home for the first time, and they might not understand the whole process. And because of you, they'll be, oh, I understand now. So yeah, so whoever is doing the Zoom thing, please stop. It's like we're getting the highlights. You can take screenshots if you like, but don't write on the screen, please. The relationship and the trust is what is going to get you out there. And then we'll create demand for your content because they keep seeing you, they keep remembering you, and they'll remember your name. Every time I go to a conference, literally, uh, before I go there, all the agents already know me. And I don't know how, because maybe I'm just really connected with my community. And I'm always in social media. So they're like, "Oh, you're the lady that is posting about international." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then they know me before I know them, and it's a good feeling. But at the same time, I want to get to know them genuinely. It's not like, "Oh yeah, I'm an influencer. Take my picture. Bye." It's more, "Oh, let's have a connection. How do you find me?" Because I'm curious and really organically, genuinely curious about how people are finding us. And it's not only me, it's my whole team. We have our unicorn group. And based on that, it creates that relationship of like, okay, now let me try to remember you, because now you know me, I feel committed that I want to get to know you. So it's that relationship. And that relationship and trust has been going from conference to conference that I go to. If they're in real estate and we're international, I know them or they know me, and we connect again in every single other conference. And that's how you build that trust and connection. Then remember what is your market, and then people want to try to help you or sending you referrals, and that's how you build your authority. So your authority is what you're building over time of the same thing, that you focus on a niche and you keep repeating the same message over and over and over again in different ways that are not the same salesy way. It's more like, hey, I'm bringing value to your life, I'm bringing education, I'm giving you fun facts, or I'm entertaining you in any way, like some jokes about real estate, how sometimes the transactions fall apart, and sometimes you have to just laugh about it. You cannot just be always stressed out or angry. And then of course longevity is depending on how consistent you are over time, and eventually your, I will call it legacy, will continue, but you have to get started to get growing so you can get how do you say in English, like plastering people's minds, let's say. Um, Content specific, as I mentioned, property, of course, super important. We're real estate agents, we're not entertainers. Education, don't think everybody knows what you know. You can always share something of value for somebody who's not there. And then your personality. Like Princess has a big personality. I love her. So creating content with her is very organic and fun, and we're not even trying, we're just creating. And that being in that zone of genius of creation is super important, because then you have fun with your own content and with your own education material. All these three are important because you will be known for being a full 360 person instead of just being a one thing. You're a realtor, but that doesn't mean that defines you forever. You're also a mother, you're a brother, you're aside of your real estate career, you have something else. So keep that in mind, and then you become that trusted agent that people always look for or always remember and keep you in mind. Some of the tools we'll be covering coming up. And here's, I think, our link to YouTube. You can also follow us in YouTube, so you can see actually how we implement all these tools in that, in real life. How we create the videos that we do, the podcast that we do, and what we use for that. There are many tools that are in play, but the top ones that we have, and probably you already also have, are CapCut, Canva, Captions, and then everything else that comes after that when it comes for video editing, and then how you utilize the rest of the tools. Something super important is the equipment that you have. I have the next slide will show you the equipment that I use. It's very simple. I go literally with my phone everywhere I go, and my little tripod or the big one. And that way I'm always ready for content everywhere you see me. Like literally I pull my tripod and I'm creating something. And I have, of course, my mics. And that's the only thing you need. But I'll show you the slide in the next one. So you can see what I use, and you can get your own. If you don't have any, if you're starting, don't worry, it's never too late. And especially for South Africa, there's not that much content out there about South Africa. And I think this is time that for this group, if you if you get going right now, you probably will be much more farther ahead than other people that don't dare to be on camera, or they feel shy, and then they will lose the opportunity. So then it's a blue ocean right there. Because when I was there, I was like, when I'm searching for certain keywords, I don't find people. So that means that there's an opportunity to get in and be found with those terms. So we'll be covering content creation equipment, CapCut, editing, and how do you do for Reels? What do you do? Stories, Reels, posts, what's the best? And then we'll share the stats on that and the numbers. Canva designs are very easy. I mean, Canva is the easiest for me to use, but probably for those who need tricks or something like that, you can also edit videos here. We'll show some information about CapCut, captions, AI content scripts. You don't know what to say. We'll share with you the scripts and what you can put in your calendar for content throughout the weeks or throughout the month. This is my favorite because now I don't have to think too much about what I'm going to say. And I just put literally AI save our lives. Like if you don't use AI right now, I don't know, like you're living under a rock, because this is helping us every single day create more content that is of value and find information education that is not out there yet or hasn't been created. We'll also chat about Snapchat versus TikTok, um, editing effects for Reels, WhatsApp automations, because we know when we're in the international space, this is not too big for the US for WhatsApp, but it is really big internationally. So the WhatsApp automations are super important. When somebody texts you, sometimes I have like 500 messages unread, and I cannot read everybody. But then if you can do the automation, you can start screening people what they want to contact you for, and you can cater to them for the ones that are hot leads versus the cold leads that just asking you random questions. Also, I like to chat more about Instagram and Facebook strategy and how you can duplicate the content there. My favorite is YouTube. So I do have a strong presence in YouTube. It's my favorite. And again, it's not about the numbers, not about the followers. It's about how many people you're impacting every single day with your education and your content. Because believe it or not, people want to see life through your eyes. You are on the field looking at houses, looking at neighborhoods, looking at restaurants. And they're like, I'm wondering what it's like to live in Cape Town. And they can only see that through social media, and maybe they make a decision to move there because of what they've seen online. But if they don't see through anybody's eyes, they're like, well, I don't know. I heard Cape Town is dangerous. Maybe I don't want to go there. And people miss out on the experience because they feel fear. So yeah, YouTube my favorite. Google My Business is super important. I think not everybody uses it to the max. I probably don't use it to the max, but we can help you how to set it up and how to optimize it. So there's some strategies to do that as well. And I don't use it too much because I'm a mobile business. I'm not in one location, but if I have to pick a location, it will be Chicago. But that will be for my team for production. But if you're set up in one location specific, we can help you with the setup. Notebook LM is my favorite. These slides were done by Notebook LM, and as you can see, I love them. I cannot sometimes be creative enough to come up with ideas on how to create, how to put things together, because when you're busy and you're working, the creativity sometimes is what stays at the end, the last thing in the day. Opus Clip will be how to repurpose your same content, like you do long form into short form, and you can be in 7 platforms at the same time, like in one click. We'll show you how to do that. And we have AI avatars if you don't want to be in camera, but we recommend you to be in camera because the avatars will not be getting that much attention in YouTube, because they will push down the AI content that is created by a bot. But Instagram, you can still get away with it. There are many accounts that are AI only, And maybe you can take a picture of you and then do an avatar, meaning a video, and that person will talk like as if it was you. That's a little scary, but some people are like, I don't want to create video myself, so I'll do my avatar. So if you're into that, that will be an option. And general content automation, CRM stuff is super important as well. And checking your stats and your analytics, your numbers are also super important. So these will be topics we'll be covering. And as I mentioned, my favorite way to do content is create one long form video of 15 minutes to an hour. And I'll do an interview, I do podcast, and that way people are, you know, giving me all the information that I need to know. For example, we interview attorneys on the buying process of X country. So, and then after that, we cut the content in pieces and it becomes all these small shorts and reels and they get posted on their own. So I don't have to think what they say or get creative. Or maybe this part is better than this one. We just cut everything, post everywhere, and we're like literally present online in everybody's head 3 times a day. But this is do automation. I cannot do it on my own. It's impossible. But with automation, with the right tools, you can do just one time a video of the 15 minutes and then cut it in pieces and be everywhere all the time. Also, you can do written content like for blogs, as you know, for SEO purposes. If you want to make sure that you have your website up and running, your blog about what the video you created. So that once you took the video and the transcript gets created, everything can be repurposed after that. So that's my favorite tool. This is Opus Clip, like one of the tools that's my favorite, and that's how we get like almost literally everywhere in one click. If you're looking for equipment, I have a list here of the equipment that I use. So then that way you can click on, you scan the code, or I can post the code in the chat at the end. That way you have a list of the equipment that I use, because to me it's very important that you have at least the basics. And the basics are literally one tripod. Light is depending, yes or no, depending if it's dark, but I usually just record with natural light during the day, because also otherwise you get shadows and things like that. But that's more technical stuff that we can cover if you have questions on how to start recording like from scratch. So scan this QR code if you like to see the list of the products that I use. Everything in that list I have bought, tested, play with. I broke it. So I've been testing a lot of equipment. And since I travel a lot, I need something very durable that, it can be very small like this. I'm fitting in a small luggage. So I broke a lot of tripods already because they crash sometimes. So I have a list of the good ones over there. And with that, we're about to be done. Consistency over intensity. Don't get crazy in 1 week, post 20 times, and then don't do anything next week, because otherwise, you will not be found. You'll be invisible again. And also we chat about quality versus quantity. Uh, and also the human touch, right? Like people want to see humans. They can see AIs, but then they're like, but I don't relate with an AI, right? An AI can do a workout video and do like 1,000 push-ups, and you're like, well, I cannot do that. But if a human being teaches you how to do push-ups, then you'll be like, well, if she's exhausted and I'm exhausted, well, yeah, we both are exhausted. You know what are the limits. So the human experience will be more appreciated over time versus the AI, but we use AI to expand the human experience and blast it everywhere. So we'll connect more on that and what's the most important thing. You can take a screenshot of these topics that we'll cover. These are the topics I specialize on. It's from international real estate, content creation, and AI, and how it all connects. So these are the topics we can cover over time. And based on, maybe you can do a poll, the most voted ones, we can cover them sooner. But there's a lot I can share with you, but it's just, we have just a few minutes. And with that, I'll leave it at that. Be a unicorn in a sea of horses. That's my slogan, because our brand is Unicorn Properties. As you can see it here, you'll see it everywhere. And our colors are neon green, and right now they're gold because I've been liking how the slides are showing up in AI. And we're adopting a new branding guide. So if you scan this QR code, it will take you probably to YouTube. I have to check. But yeah, in a world where AI can copy products, prices, listings, the only thing that cannot be replicated is your personality brand, your personal brand, which who you are, and the trust that you have built as a human being with another human being. So hopefully this helps. Oh yeah, perfect. So if it goes to YouTube, please, you can follow me there. If you are an expert and would like to be in our podcast and you want to showcase your area, we'd love to interview you. We do interviews in person or via Zoom. And you can check in our YouTube. There is a podcast list on a playlist, and you can see all the interviews we have done, even in South Africa, and we have pending to do more about each city and what's the value of each city. And with that, let me invite Princess back. Again, you can follow us, screenshot this, share in social media, tag us in stories, in reels, and we'll reshare those. That way we get our audience to follow you as well. And that's the whole intention with this. I don't know if you guys follow John Lee, but that was his strategy, doing, tagging, and then that way you get interactions and then you know who they are. And then I think it's a brilliant idea to get connected that way. And also, we have so many things we can share with you week over week. I do have a call every Tuesday. Princess joins our calls, and maybe we can get more people incorporated based on where you guys are in the journey. But yeah, I think that's it. And we'll just open for questions. I will stop recording for now. That way we don't get everybody as too long of a video.